I want to put trails on it and trees. And then...
All right, you have 5 seconds.
Hello, friends, and welcome to Fishing with Dynamite, a podcast produced by Radio Heart Media and hosted by me, Mark Guy.
And me, Paul Beatty. And we're just two guys water skiing on the Tears of Sinners, as well as our own tears, which make up probably about 3 feet of the depth.
Yeah, probably.
And we are loving it.
Oh, it's fantastic. And this is the show
Delicious,
about the
salty
joy.
tears. I'm sorry.
This is a show about the joy of living the Christian life, and this week we are joined by some of our program staff from the Diocese of Wheeling-Charleston here in West Virginia. Hello, Sarah.
Hello, thanks for having us.
Yeah, Sarah is one of 3 who will be joining us today. So they are doing some ministry here in the Mountain State.
Yeah.
But I think we need to get in the spirit first.
Oh.
Would you not agree?
Oh, sure.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a little bit of a contest to get in the spirit of learning about missionary work in the mountains. So I brought some things for us.
So wonderful.
So here you go. Here's your box.
Oh, I get my own box.
And
I thought we were gonna.
here's my box.
Oh, okay. All right.
And when you open up your box,
Yeah.
excuse me, I think we have basically
have to-
equal amounts. I'm
Let's
gonna
scoot
shift
forward for that.
my computer here a little bit.
All right.
Okay.
Push the water.
Is actually, and you know what? Actually, might even work better. Is we'll put it on the table here. It'll be fine.
Okay. It looks like brown sugar.
Kinetic sand looks a lot like brown sugar.
Makes me hungry for cookies. Okay.
And what this is very magical stuff that basically can just do all kinds of weird things. It doesn't like get around every place.
It's
Like it sticks together.
delicious.
Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put 30 seconds on the clock,
Wow.
and Sarah's gonna time it for us.
Okay.
And what you have to do is within 30 seconds.
Yes.
And I have not practiced this, so
Oh,
I don't
good.
have an advantage. I just
believe
bought
you.
this stuff this morning. You have to build the tallest mountain you can.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So like a Colorado mountain, not a West Virginia mountain.
Yeah. Seriously, like a
Okay.
Colorado mountain.
All right, here
So
you
you got
go.
to build the tallest mountain that you can
Yeah.
within 30 seconds. Okay, just
All
tell
right.
us when to go here.
All right, ready? We'll give you a countdown. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Oh. Just kind
Sorry,
of
getting ahead of me a little bit.
but it's all gonna fall because it's kinetic, right?
It is kinetic sand,
So
but
it's like-
you just got to keep.
Yeah, you gotta keep
And
it going
then-
for the whole 30 seconds so it
And
doesn't
then
fall over.
a little plateau. I don't know what I want to do.
You know what plateaus?
I want I want to put trails on it and trees, and then.
All right, you have 5 seconds.
No, I got it.
3,
I got it.
2, 1,
Wow.
stop.
Yeah.
30 seconds went way faster than I thought it would.
I think I won.
We'll never know.
Well, we're gonna bring Tara. We're gonna bring Tara on. She
right.
has the official Fishing with Dynamite ruler, and she's determined.
3 inches.
I have about 3 inches.
And about 5.8 inches.
Wow.
How about that?
Gosh.
And my mountain hasn't collapsed yet. Oh, but it's
No,
starting to lean.
It's starting to lean a little
It
bit.
is starting to lean.
This is neat stuff. And actually, the first time I saw this was when our Diocesan Missionaries were using it at a conference, and they had like a big table set up, and people could come and play with the kinetic sand,
Yeah.
and they would also talk to them about cool stuff that's going on in West Virginia. So that leads us to our actual conversation. So
right.
we have three of our program staff, Diocesan program staff, who are with us. And so they're going to talk to us a little bit. If you remember, the theme of this season is talking about evangelization and why you're so bad at it and how to get better. So we have 3 principal questions that each of our program staff are going to answer. The first one is, who are you and where are you from? Right, because that's what you got to ask
That's
first.
kind of important.
Secondly, can you tell us like a story that kind of encapsulates your experience or is part of your experience as being a missionary and doing this kind of mission work? And then thirdly, talk to us a little bit about what advice you could give someone who is trying to do mission work, trying to reach out, trying to evangelize wherever they are. So we want to start with our first candidate, Sarah. So Sarah, tell us a little about where you're from and who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Sarah, and I am actually from the wonderful state of West Virginia.
Outstanding.
Yes, I am the lone born and raised West Virginian
Wow.
on the team. So it's good to be here and happy to have some transplant West Virginians with us on our staff. So it's always fun.
Are they honorary? Have they been through the ritual to become honorary West Virginians?
We can't really speak of said. But,
That's right. Other people may see this.
right, yeah. So
Now, people are going to ask, is it Sarah with an H or with not an H?
So good question.
Okay, very
actually, my name is actually spelled Serra.
Oh.
Mixing it up, you know? Yeah. So it was actually my mom's maiden name. So before she got married, she was Cindy Sarah, and then obviously her last name changed when she got married, and so they made it my first name.
That's awesome.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay.
And it's like Junipero Sarah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. I wish my parents were Catholic hipsters in '95. Whenever
Right.
he wasn't probably even a blessed yet, but
Yeah.
he's definitely become a patron of mine. Yeah.
How cool is that?
That's awesome. And whereabouts in West Virginia are you from?
I'm from the Northern Panhandle in Weirton, West Virginia.
Oh, so you're
Nice.
from a part like us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A panhandle.
a panhandle. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have a particular like story or thought from your experience as a program staff?
Yeah. So, kind of the biggest thing about being a program staff is that we are transitional ministers. So a lot of times, like, we're in a place for just a small period of time, and then we move on and we have to go to the next event with the next group of people. And so for me, this has been kind of a challenging experience because I'm not necessarily the boldest of people. It takes me a while to kind of warm up to people, but this year has definitely pushed that boundary. And one of the times where I definitely experienced having to step out of my comfort zone and be bold with some of our kids was this summer. We run a summer camp for 4 weeks during July. I was with a group of middle schoolers. I think there were, which is always fun, right?
Yeah.
So I had a group of 6 girls and 2 guys who were my crew for the week. And the second night we're there, I'm already trying to be the cool minister and have fun with them and break the ice and try to not make them as awkward as they are, but it's awful because they're middle schoolers. So naturally just awkward. But so we're the second night and we were talking about, the best part of our day or the lowest part of our day. We're kind of sitting in a circle in the gym at camp. All of a sudden, there are some kids on the far side of camp talking about their day, and then they start playing with this volleyball. And all of a sudden, this one high school kid kicks this volleyball, and it's coming straight towards the kid next to me's face.
Oh, no.
Hard. And I was and I don't know, it was the Holy Spirit, every cat reflex I've ever had.
Sure.
Yes.
Grabbed it out of the air and just pulled it straight back in.
Whoa.
And all of my kids just stopped and went, whoa.
Whoa.
You're awesome.
You're
And I was
awesome.
So you played dodgeball in college. That's probably what they were thinking.
yeah, they were like, wow,
Wow.
you're a ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. It's true. So that was just kind of the first moment where it just broke the ice. And especially because I had some boys in my crew. So they were like, wow, you're awesome. You're a girl and you're super cool.
Teach us, sensei.
Yeah, exactly. So they were just super fun group of kids from the rest of that week. But I had to kind of step out there and save a kid's life,
Sure.
Right.
So,
All in
yeah.
a day's work.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you have any thoughts in particular for people out there, how they can evangelize, how they can reach out and start those conversations in their own lives?
Yeah, absolutely. I think kind of 2 points to this. The first one would be to pray a lot. If you're going to be a minister, you have to be praying and spending time with the Lord so that you can get to know his voice and just really be steeped in prayer, whatever that looks like for you. For me, it's just a lot of silent time in front of Jesus and the Blessed Sacrament. But
Sure.
the other thing I would say is then just be bold. You just have to go out there and kind of be willing to make a fool of yourself so that kids can have an encounter with Jesus.
Sure.
People always say you might be the only gospel that people see in that day, in that encounter that they have with you. So many times, if you just see, if you're working with kids or really whoever you're working with, seeing someone sitting by themselves, hanging out at an event or really just wherever, going and sitting with them and having a conversation with them of just hey, how are you? How's your day? What's your life like? Just giving that moment of someone actually cares about me. They actually want to know what my life is like. And especially I've experienced with kids, to have someone actually care about what you're doing and how you're doing really just kind of breaks down those barriers for them, and they're willing to engage with you and willing to have a conversation about Christ if you get that far. You know?
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Next up, Tara Bailey. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me and us.
Of course. Of
Yeah.
course. All right. Who are you? Where are you from? What's your deal?
Oh my goodness. So my name is Tara, and I'm actually from St. Louis, Missouri. Kind of a lie. Actually, I'm from Troy, Missouri. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's a small town. So when I moved to West Virginia, I was super excited because it was out in the middle of nowhere in the mountains, and it was beautiful, and I was used to that kind of like country life.
Right.
So really excited. But from
Sure.
Missouri, yeah.
So,
Awesome.
you're a baseball fan?
I'm a huge baseball fan.
Okay, excellent.
Cardinals fan, yeah, for sure.
I'll forgive that, but at least you're in the National League, which is real baseball.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's the important piece.
Should have worn my Cardinal shirt today, but I wanted to dang it.
West Virginia.
Yeah, for sure. So I've actually been a missionary for a couple years before this. And so basically program staff is like being a missionary, you just get paid a lot better, which is super awesome. I
Can
love
make a
that.
living. That's fantastic.
Right?
And you get to have fun doing it. And one of the funnest things we have gotten to do is make a camp video to promote our camp that we have during the summertime.
Which
And
is
so-
Camp Bosco, right?
Camp Bosco. Yep.
Camp Bosco,
Camp
okay.
Bosco during July. And we want to make it super fun, get the kids interested, and like have and laugh. So of course, what do? We just dress up in our funnest costumes, Chewbacca and a monkey and a banana, and walk into. No, I'm just kidding. But we dress up and we just go around property. I was Chewbacca and I rode around in the golf cart, and we had Sarah and Morgan. It's like 30 degrees outside, frozen lake, going down the zip line.
Oh,
just
nice.
all this fun stuff, and then you get to show it to the kids, and that's when the real joy comes. It's just like you think you're having a bad day, and you hang out with like second graders. And you feel like a rock star because they just like die laughing, and like your entire day is better because of the joy that you've just now brought to these kids, and getting excited about Christ, excited about camp, and just having fun. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
really great part of our job.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what do you have as far as like, wisdom for somebody who wants to reach out and wants to evangelize? Like what is your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that is that Christ uses everyone. It doesn't matter where you came from, who you are, like your talents, like he can use you in any way possible.
Sure.
Just you have to give him the chance and like trust in him, that he knows what he's doing and that he's going to use all your abilities. He's used me, and I've seen all my team members. All of us are so different and so beautifully different, have all these different qualities we have brought to our team, and he's using each one of us.
Sure.
So really just like trusting in the Lord and like Sarah said before, like taking that chance, like stepping out, being bold, and just going after, your faith and like what you love. I mean, I kind of always knew I was slightly creative, and I love to do it, but that's something I've used a lot in this job is just being creative, like through artwork, through
Nice.
painting. We painted a bunch of rocks, and just like using that to kind of like show people.
It's like, you gotta break that down for us a little bit.
Rocks.
Just random rocks.
Well, I've seen some beautifully painted rocks. There's a lady who's an artist up in the Hagerstown area, Maryland, named Saskia, and she paints these amazing rocks as well as these amazing like paintings of religious things. So I mean, it's super. So you like the smooth rock kind of situation.
Yeah, so we're doing these pursuit nights, these youth nights, and our theme is unchanging, and so we kind of want to show the kids that like you need something that is unchanging in your life. You need God, who's your rock.
Right.
And so we have an adoration piece, and me and Morgan, one of the other program staff, sat down and we painted a bunch of rocks, just like different type of inspiring, beautiful things on these rocks.
Nice.
So in adoration, they can sit and look at them. And there was one of them, I saw it on my phone. I was looking, of course, Pinterest, and it had a cross, but in the cross was like a lion.
Okay.
So the cross like outlined it, and I saw that, and I'm like, dude, Morgan, this is the sickest thing I've ever seen. Like, I want to paint this, but I was like, I would never be able to do this. She goes, I mean, that is really cool, Tara. And I was like, challenge accepted. Done. And I did it, and it was like, it's super awesome. And I just, the way the Lord like works, and he uses you and your gifts to inspire people and like have them fall in love in a different way, and that through art, through that creative way of doing things. So
Last one, Mr. Gabe Roa. Welcome.
Hi, it's good to be here.
Give us the skinny. Who are you?
Give us the skinny. All right. Just haven't heard that word in a while used in that context. All right. So I was born in West Virginia, in Huntington, West Virginia, but I've lived the majority of my life in South Point, Ohio, just across the river from Huntington. So it's kind of that tri-state area. So even though I'm like an Ohio resident, or was an Ohio resident while growing up, I still was pretty active in all my youth group kind of activities, youth ministry things that I was part of in high school and middle school were all based in West Virginia. So
your soul is really West Virginian. Is what
yes,
you're
that's
saying.
what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be from Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And then,
It's true.
and then your background, you are studying or have studied, right, in not ministry, right?
Correct. So I went to University of Oklahoma on a scholarship.
Oh,
It's really flat there.
I believe it.
Lots of tornadoes in the spring, but
That's good.
yeah. So I studied, went there, studied chemistry.
Oh, you're a scientist like Mark.
Yes,
Two scientists on a religious podcast.
Mark's a science.
What's gonna happen? Yeah, I was a biology major.
Oh,
Yeah.
I knew that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and now I am working as a youth ministry program staff in heart of West Virginia.
Nice, awesome.
Wow.
So, can you share with us a little bit about your experience? Like, what's it been like? Something that's happened.
Absolutely. So, like I said, I was pretty active in youth ministry in high school, just volunteering with stuff, being a staff for middle school or confirmation retreats. Then I kind of like took a break from that, went and studied chemistry in college. So coming back to it, it's really interesting to see kind of the other side of youth ministry, not just as a participant, but like the behind the scenes of all the planning and the preparation for just the creativity that happens in youth ministry.
Right.
For example, for the National Catholic Youth Conference, we were trying to come up with ideas on how to advertise one of our summer programs. It's called Manus Christi, Latin for Hands of Christ, and it's an Appalachian service program. Really wonderful program. So we were trying to think of how to advertise that and make our booth like kind of unique and special. And the idea we came up with was let's build a front porch, like not a house, but like a front porch. Put rocking chairs on it, and, have like that, just like that old timey like Appalachian sitting on your porch with your best friends and your dog, and playing banjo, like just like having it was great. So like we start building this thing, and like I was the one in charge of making the phone calls to try and find wood and stuff, and the materials, and it was just really interesting conversation. Every time I talked to someone, they were like, "What exactly do you need this for?" And I was like, "Well, we just want to build a porch." Just nothing
Don't
else
judge,
there,
we're
but
building
yeah.
a porch.
I'm sure you get this request all the time. So we ended up building this thing, and it was, I was pretty proud of it. And then like we traveled to NCYC and set it up, and it was a big success. But
Did anybody actually play banjo?
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. That was part of the shtick,
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you play banjo?
A little bit, mostly
Oh.
guitar.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
actually got to see this thing in action, and it was awesome. And you guys did get a lot of traffic. I mean, there was
That's
a lot
true.
of folks coming through there, which was great. And I saw like the Manus Christi buttons and badges and things like being
Wow.
passed around, and it was great.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was awesome.
But yeah, traveling to and from, like we had it inside our van, and that was also part of the fun. I was riding in this van that's stuffed with all these materials we're putting up and giving out at NCYC, and I'm like riding next to a front porch that's disassembled. So I don't think I've ever done that before. And
The West Virginian moving.
Yes.
He's taking his porch with him. The porch does
Precisely.
not convey.
Right. Gosh. So do you have any advice for people who are who want to reach out to folks about their faith, or some chemistry advice?
Or construction as well.
Yes.
Or construction advice. People who want to build porches.
Construction. The whole notion that science and faith are at odds with one another is something that I feel like is one of the greatest misconceptions that's so widely believed.
Amen, brother.
Throughout the world.
Amen.
They complement each other beautifully, and learning the science behind things, for me personally, like has just made God the Creator, like his creativity and creative genius, just that much more apparent when you see the nuances and intricacies of, I don't know, chemical bonding and reactions that are happening. So faith and reason go hand in hand.
Right
Totally.
on.
And I think that
Excellent.
is like definitely like when I've done a little bit of work with kids and gotten to talk to people and whatever. Like that is something that definitely is a paradigm shift for people. Like that you don't really think about. Like people have this conception that you have to either believe in science or religion.
It's pretty
Right.
firmly
When
entrenched.
yeah,
in our
that makes
culture.
me want
Because
to
the
punch
loud
somebody in the
ones,
neck
the loud
every time
scientists are-
somebody says that.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is out there.
Oh gosh.
Chipping away. Chipping away.
Although he is a fantastic science educator. It's a yeah, you're right. You're right.
Mhm.
It's like that misconception is out there.
Yeah.
Which is super hard. And like whenever you kind of break through that though and
Right.
like get into that awesome synthesis of science and religion, how
it can
they
be a
couple
beautiful thing.
It can be a
Mhm.
beautiful thing. It can really shift people's perception,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Gabe.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so Gabe, let's say that a person out there wanted to know more about you guys and what you do and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Where should they go to learn more?
So our kind of like our title, our handle on social media is WV Catholic YM.
Okay,
Our actual website is wvcatholicym.org.
but they can find you on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram
That's
and all
right.
that stuff.
Our Instagram game is on fleek.
Yeah.
Like, I would highly suggest following
Whoa.
that. I know.
That's what I hear. I hear that the Instagram is really good.
I haven't heard anybody use the on fleek other than me recently.
Oh,
I know.
So
I
that
feel like
means
I've entered that next like
You're you're
step
totally
of, stage of young adulthood.
you're now using it
Yeah.
ironically.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I always use it ironically.
That's
but
fantastic.
You can always check us out at fishingwithdynamite.fm. We have our contact page up there, or you can shoot us a message at our Facebook page, or you can send us an email at fishingwithdynamite@gmail.com,
Yes.
which I should know how to say by now,
Yeah.
but apparently I don't.
Well, it's still hard. It's still difficult to say that.
It's still a difficult one to say, but you can always go to fishingwithdynamite.fm. That'll solve all your problems.
That will.
If you want
It'll solve all of your problems.
all of your problems,
Actually. Yeah, we are here for that. We are here to solve it. Please send us your problems.
I just want
We
you to
would
know
love to talk
we
about
care.
your problems.
and then finally, of course, if you want more Fishing with Dynamite, we have the post show available after every show we do to our Patreon supporters. Also, as a Patreon supporter, you get you get access to our free weekly drawings, which we do on the post show, and then you also get 15% off our store at fishingwithdynamite.fm/store. So you get a 15% discount code that you can apply to everything.
That's right.
All your Fishing with Dynamite swag.
Just give us all your money. All you have to do. It's not that much to ask.
All right, friends. Well, thank you as always for joining us. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.
Toodaloo.
And we got to do the thing.
Oh,
Ready?
yeah, all right.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Let me try again. That was
And everybody, feel free to chant with us.
yeah. Is it? Oh gosh. What is going
It's gonna
on?
get a good ding
All right,
on
ready?
the
We gotta
dinghy.
get a good ding.
Yeah.
There we go.
Ite podcastum est.